Tomorrow I'm going out on a solo mission for a few nights. It's going to be my first real Sasquatch hunting expedition. And I am trying to put all of my gear in that backpack and on this bike and in this trailer to my bike. So I haven't really started packing yet, but I'm getting all of my stuff together. I got there's a headlamp, tablet, a couple little helmet cams, bicycle cam. It's my night vision camera right there. Got my binoculars. We got some super high powered flashlights. Those things are insane. They don't look like much, but those things will shine all the way across the Columbia River from Washington to Oregon with a beam. They're super impressive lights. Got them from TEMU. Got most of this crap from TEMU. Oh, got my scope there. I'll bring the tripod for that scope. Yeah. Got a super lightweight sleeping bag, super lightweight tent thing over there. Yeah, this is kind of all my stuff. Going out for 3 nights maybe, totally alone. Bear Creek, land of cougars and bears, and Sasquatch. Yeah. So this is interesting. These are some tree breaks that were not here just a few days ago. As you can see, that tree has been snapped off, pushed over. Right there, it's bent and broke, and then somebody had to come here and hack it with probably a machete or an axe to get it out of the road. But this was pushed over recently. And the reason why this is a big deal is because just right back there, as I was driving, there was a different tree break that was new. I'm going to get video of it when I leave in a few days. This is kind of interesting. Definitely wasn't here the other day. Oh, and that's another one. Because I've been looking for tree breaks like crazy out here. And that's another one snapped off way up high. Don't know if it's even showing up in this camera. But you can see where it's broke off right there and snapped off right there. That snapped off really high. And wind would not have done that. Wind isn't going to rip through these trees and break that one green branch. And that's a nutwood. That's a really strong tree. Really hard to break, actually. And this is a definite new one. Yeah, interesting. Just something I noticed. I'm getting up here way, way late. I was supposed to be up here hours ago. And if you see that fog in the trees, really low clouds tonight. It's going to be a really dark night up here all by myself. So it's up here. It's about 8:15. Oh, I didn't have time to go to the campsite I would have liked to have been to, but this one will suffice. It's gravel. I mean, if I could have had my choice, I was supposed to leave my truck and ride my bike to the ideal spot, but this will have to work. I don't like sleeping on gravel. I didn't bring a lot of heavy pad because I was planning on riding my bike to my campsite, but this will have to do. If you can see behind me, it's all fog because we're up in the clouds. So it's going to be a really dark night. And this is just a little tent I brought my original plan was to sleep outside under the stars, no tent, but I hate bugs, so I decided to bring this little net thing. I couldn't get the normal tent stakes to work because I'm literally sleeping on a rock. So luckily I have these big heavy duty concrete spikes and a little mini sledge, and I was able to get it staked. But yeah, this is right in the heart of where I had that sighting. And they have all rain tonight because this fog gives them excellent coverage. Not to mention these giant debris piles they could hide behind and sneak up behind. So yeah, not actually ideal conditions for squatting. But it's my fault. I got here too late. So now I have to make do with what I can. So I gotta get this tent set up before it gets dark. So I'm getting things set up. I'm not gonna lie, a little uneasy. Never done this all alone camping thing before. This is new for me. I've spent a lot of time in the woods. Worked in the forests. I've grown up in the forest, but never all alone in the middle of nowhere like this, especially right in the heartland of where I saw a Sasquatch just a month ago. So I'm good, but definitely on edge a little. Keep hearing some weird like whistles and things that people have attributed to potential Sasquatch, but birds maybe, I don't know. That's me. This little coffin-sized tent. I brought the thinnest sleeping bag ever manufactured in sleeping bag history because I thought it would be a warm night, but it's a little chilly. Like, I'm not cold, but the sun is just setting. But I mean, I can't see, but 50 yards, if that, 30 yards, and it's just white out. So anyway, here begins what will be a long night. Boiling some water, getting some tea going. Campsite's about as good as I'm going to get it for tonight. One little table, one little chair. Those little chairs are badass. They fold up into a little bag. Tent. Oh, my tent is something I'm concerned about. Look how much it just became dark. And that's how much moisture is already collected on this tent. Not good. I will be sleeping with sweatpants and sweatshirt. So we'll see how it goes. It's really, really wet though. Not cold though. Definitely kind of weird being up here always though. I mean, even though I'm on a road, I'm really deep in the middle of nowhere. Like, there's nobody around me except maybe another camper or somebody deep in the same woods. But out here, you're really, really rural. A lot of bear, a lot of cougar, apparently Sasquatch. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting night. I probably should have brought a better sleeping bag. Not counting for moisture and cold. I just wanted a really lightweight sleeping bag. I have a tendency to get hot. But we'll see how it goes. I got some game cameras set up. I'm horrible with this camera. Sorry. I'm brand new. I'm figuring it out. My theory is, on a night like this, instead of going out looking for some kind of behaviors, looking for Sasquatch signs, I think it's more likely to just stay where I'm at and try to do things to pique their curiosity. See if they come to me. because they're going to be really confident tonight. They have so much cover. They have all this fog and they have all these debris piles they can hide behind. And I have some weird lights that put like lasers and weird like laser smoke into the air, and I think they're going to be really cool in this fog. And so I'm going to try some weird things and see if I can get any kind of creatures coming around me. Maybe I can catch some night vision shots. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Well, I survived the night. Oh, this is what I'm dealing with, though. I'm up here trying to do Sasquatch investigations, and I can't see but 30 feet in front of me. So I'm going to try to figure something else out. I got to get off this hill. I got to get out of this fog. Making my coffee. Kind of a cool little setup. I've not used it before, so this will be a first. But boil the water, which I just did. Put it in here. Oh, it's fucking hot. Hot, 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 hot. And then French press style. This thing fits right in this little titanium mug. Or this titanium mug. They're both exactly the same size. But I'm assuming I'm supposed to let it soak for a little while before I plunge that thing down. I don't know, but that's what I'm gonna do. I was up really late last night, listening to sounds. There was some strange whistles last night. There was some movement, but nothing that I got like super excited about. Nothing that was, oh, there it is, I got him. Pretty uneventful, really, real wet, real foggy. Kind of a miserable night for my first night in the woods. I got my tablet working up here on this mountain, which is pretty amazing. I was able to watch Netflix up here last night, so that helped. A couple hours Netflix, and I'd pause and I'd put on the little headphones and I would listen, because I have one of those listening device things. I'll show you one of these. So I would do a lot of this last night, That's interesting. Last night with this thing, I could hear creek. Nothing but a creek over here. But now there's no creek. So that must have been that was that much water coming out of this fog last night. But there were actually creeks forming. I thought there was like a seasonal river or creek right over here or something. But now I can't hear it. Anyway, yeah, there's no creek anymore. That was all being caused by the dew. The dripping dew was making everything sounded like a small river, little creek in every direction. This thing really does work when you're in the woods by yourself in total silence. You can hear everything around you. Nothing could sneak up on you if you wanted to sit there in a chair and listen to this all night. It works. Problem with it is, it doesn't really hone in on one area that well, because if I'm aimed down there, sure, I can hear everything that's going on. But if a jet goes by, all I hear is the jet. Or if, even if somebody was like over there partying and they're making a bunch of racket, all I'm going to hear is them. So it works, but only works if it's in total silence. Total silence without a bunch of other background noise, these work well. Otherwise, they don't work well. I'm down in this grove of trees. I mean, it could have been a bear, it could have been a deer. But what got my attention was it seemed like whatever was moving through here was trying to be quiet. And I don't think deer and bear. God, I just thought I heard footsteps. I wonder if that was picked up on this thing. This area is full of down trees everywhere. That's another reason why Sasquatch are so hard to find, because humans are loud and clumsy and we smell like deodorant, cologne, sweat. This place has an eerie kind of feel to it. And this fog makes it impossible to see anything. Those are birds warning the forest that I'm entering it. That's another thing not a lot of people talk about. It's been proven, scientifically factual proven, that certain insects and certain birds and even certain plants can communicate with each other. Now, it's only factual proven on a few, but if a couple birds and insects and plants can communicate with each other, and they've proven that scientifically, just think of what they haven't proven. I mean, it's possible that these creatures, Sasquatch, are so in tune with the forest and the animals that they all can communicate. They can warn each other. Here comes a stupid human. Here comes a hunter. Here comes a cougar. I mean, this is an ecosystem that has existed for millions of years. Humans have only been here a really short period of time. And I believe that this area communicates with each other. And that's another reason why it's so damn hard to sneak up on them. And me standing here talking to the camera doesn't help be quiet or sneaky, but at this point I'm going to have to be turned back up to my camp. I got a bit of a climb ahead of me. I gotta go back up this mountain. I wish this tree didn't have branches all over it. I could use it as a bridge across this little canyon, but I'm not trying to do all that right now. That'd be a 35-foot fall if I fell off of it. Way down to the bottom down there. It's probably hard to tell from the video, but that is way high down to the very bottom depth of that canyon. It is way further than it looks on video. All these trees. They probably all blew down naturally, but it's just weird how many of them are all right here in this little group. Lots and lots of good hiding spots over here. step I take just echoes. Oh yeah, look at that little hiding spot underneath that root. Something beds down in there. Yeah, this little canyon is deep canyon. This is what I was hearing last night. This canyon was a full-blown creek because of how wet the dew was. Damn, I gotta get back up to my camp. I left my truck unlocked. I got my wallet in there. I got all my gear in there. I wasn't planning on doing a hike. Just heard something, so I came down here and investigated. I mean, it's super fun everywhere, but the dew and the fog seems to be thicker down here in the bottom. Now I gotta climb back up all of this. I was hoping to go that way and come out a different way I came in, but this canyon I'd have to cross looks pretty friggin' insane. I don't know if I want to try to climb down it. It's like straight rock cliffs on each side of it. This is an interesting spot. Underneath this tree stump, multiple people can hang out and get out of the rain. It'd be totally dry in there. It's probably hard to tell how big that is, but it's big. Several Sasquatches or bears. See that steep down there, super steep. Anything could hide in here. The fog has gone up. See, now it's way foggy up above. I'm right in the clouds, so the clouds are up and down, up and down. See, way down in the bottom there. That's in the direction of where I first saw my Sasquatch. That's the area I plan to investigate today, but I'm going to use my e-bike to get there. There's squizzles out here somewhere. Just gotta find them. There's probably one looking at me right now. See, that's a big rock formation right there. And out here in these mountains, you start tearing open one of these big old huge monuments of basalt, and you can find giant purple amethyst. That's another thing I'm hoping to bump into while I'm out here hunting for these wild squizzles. These really cool rocks. This area is legendary for its rocks. In fact, its rocks is what brought me to these mountains. And now, because of the rocks, I found a Sasquatch. So now I'm out here hunting Sasquatch instead of rocks. But I'm always on the lookout for the $10,000 rock.